In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a user-defined custom template for Notion that uses a multi in the Aria player that comes with Garritan Personal Orchestra 5. This works for any VSTi virtual instrument that supports multis. Now, what I have here in the lower part of the screen is the Notion score setup. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and click on VSTi Instruments, and then I'm going to go up here and click on the Aria Player. This brings up the Aria Player. Currently there's nothing loaded in here, so I'm going to drop down Personal Orchestra 5, and then I'm going to click the standard ones. And then I'm going to start off, and I'm going to put a flute in there. Pick one of these. Okay, so it's got a flute. Okay, now I'm going to select the next slot. And then I'm going to put a French horn in it. Okay. I'm going to select the next slot. And I'm going to put a trumpet in there. Okay. And now I'm going to select the next one, the next slot, and I'm going to put a trombone in there. Okay, now I'm going to select the next one. I'm going to put a celesta in there, and then I'm going to select one more, and this time it's going to be a violin. Okay, so there you go. Okay, now we've got all these in there, and then what we're going to do, we're going to go up here and we're going to click on Ensemble. And we're going to click on Save. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this SW Multi GPO5. And so now it's in there. And so that's great. Yeah. And then we're going to close that. And now that's what this is. Right here. It's showing Aria Player, Multi, whatever. So we're going to exit Score Setup. I'm going to switch to Continuous View because I like that better. And I'll make it a little bit bigger. And then because I forgot the other kind of important part, I'm going to select Notion Instruments, Basic, and I'm going to create 5 just basic treble staves. Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to exit Notion Score Setup, and what I got here is got the Aria Multi player. That's the actual real thing, and then I've just got 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just basic treble staves. Now what I'm going to do, because it's important, I'm going to save the work, and I'm going to call it SW GPO5 template. Okay, so now I'm going to add some notes. This first one's a flute, so okay, great. Yeah, so that's fabulous. Now, here's the tricky part. Please pay attention to this. I'm going to select the Aria Player Multi, and then I'm going to do Shift plus I, and that's going to bring up this dialog, change instrument. I sometimes call it change channel, but who cares? And I'm going to select channel 1, which is like, well, gee, I mean, it already knows it's channel 1, but, you know, so what? So I'm doing that, and what that lets me do is that lets me change the name of this later on. It's still selected. I'm going to do the Shift I thing again. So this time I'm going to select channel 2, put it down here, and say okay. So okay, that's great. I'm going to do Shift I again. I'm going to go channel 3. Okay, now this is channel 3. I'm going to do Shift I again. Okay, this is channel 4. Okay, that's 4. Okay, Shift I again. And we do 5. Channel 5. It's there. And then I'm going to do Shift I again. And this time I'm going to select channel 6. 6. Okay, great. So now I've got all that stuff, and it's great, but, you know, it's just not really what we would call meaningful names. So I'm going to double click here. I'm going to make this solo flute. Okay. And we'll double click here, and I'm going to make this solo French horn. Yeah, that's great. And I'm going to double click here, and I'm going to make this I don't know, whatever it is, solo trumpet. Click down here, make this bass trombone. That's great, yeah. And then I think this one is Celesta. Yeah, and then down here we got solo violin. Yeah. Now that's looking a little bit better, but it's still not totally fabulous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select solo flute. I'm going to go up here and edit, and I'm going to hide it. And I'm going to do the same thing for each one. Edit, hide, select the meaningful name, edit, hide, select the meaningful name, edit, hide, and select the meaningful name, edit, hide. Okay. Now this just looks like these are all just, you know, instruments, except that what it actually is, this first one is the Aria Player, channel 1, and these next 5 are the Aria Player, channel 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6, and so that's great. And they're GPO 5 stuff. Okay, and so now I'm going to pull up the Notion editor, and we'll go over here to the Aria Player. You see, these are all just part, you know, and so that's great. Who cares? Not me. And I'm going to click on Aria Player, and you'll see that it loaded correctly with flute, French horn, trumpet, bass trombone, celestra, and violin. That's the violin. This is the flute. This is a French horn. This is a trumpet. And this is the bass trombone. This is a celesta. And this is the violin again. Yeah, and you know, that's great. Yeah. Hooray. Yeah. And so that's the way it is. And so, because I'm like totally lazy, I'm gonna copy all this stuff and paste it. So it's kind of like a round, I guess, or something. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. Okay, yeah. And now I'm going to play it. You'll see up here in the Notion Mixer that the only one that shows any activity is the Aria Player, which is one of the drawbacks of doing things with multis. And now I'm going to show you what you need to do to prepare it for being a template. First off, you want to, by lassoing, select all these things, and then you want to press the delete key, and bam, they're gone. Then, and this is very important, you want to select just that note, delete it, select that note, delete it, select that note, and then now it's the only note. There can be notes down here too, depending on the way you populated it, but it's all the same thing. You don't want to lasso it. No lassoing. You're not a cowboy. You want to select the note, and you want to delete it. Now you see that the name, solo flute, they're all there. Now you want to save this. Now you have a Notion score user-defined custom template that you created, which as you can see up here in the editor, it uses the Aria Player, and when you pull it up, it's got all the right stuff. Yeah, flute, French horn, trumpet, bass trombone, celesta, that. And so that's great. Okay. And now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and close it. And then we're going to reopen it. So there you go right there. And it's loading all this stuff, and then make it a little bigger, And as we can see over here in the Notion Mixer, we pull up the Aria Player. It's got everything loaded. Flute, French horn, trumpet, bass trombone, celesta, violin. And so everything's good, right? Yeah. Okay. And so this proves that it's a template. And then I'm just going to put some notes in here. And then, because I'm lazy, I'm gonna do a round, right? Yeah. Okay, so there's that, and now we'll play it. And so that's pretty much it. Now, if I wanted this to be a song, then I would, because see it's template, I'd want to write over the template. So I would go up here in Notion under File, do Save As, and now the template's, still whatever, I hadn't done anything to the template, but I used the template to create this song. And then now if I go up here, just so you can see, I don't know where it is. How do you unhide stuff? I don't know. Show hidden objects. Okay, yeah. See, it's all there, all this stuff. But I don't want that, so I don't know. I'm gonna go up under View and undo Show hidden objects, and so now it looks normal. And that's basically all there is to it. You can do this with Sample Tank. You can do it with Mach 5, 3 from Motu. You can do it just with a lot of different stuff. But you know, this is how it works with Aria Player and GPO5. Thanks.